Hey everyone, Vibri here, and welcome back to another episode of Talking About Life and Junk while playing web fishing. I'm very glad that I'm back working on this because I have a new microphone now, so that's going to be radical. um, so today we're going to be talking about what's on my mind, and so recently, since December 5th, it has been my birthday. Um, December 5th, I'm now 19 years old. I am really old. And I had a fun time receiving the amounts of gifts that I would get from friends of mine, and I am very grateful for every single one of them. Especially, especially Jay. He gifted me like 7 whole games. Um, Let me see if I can remember finding. Hang on. It's somewhere here. Yeah, okay, so he gifted me Sonic Adventure 2, Enter the Gungeon, Anton Blast, Hollow Knight, Placid Plastic Duck Simulator, Slime Rancher, and Cold to the Lamb. Um, well, thank you very much for that. I really appreciate it. It was so insane. I'm very surprised that you would do all that for little old me. That sounds corny, I'm sorry. But no, I'm very thankful for the amount of gifts you gave me that day. I really appreciate it. Then there was a couple more. I got a ton of birthday art. I will put them up on screen, even though most of these videos are definitely unedited, but I'm very appreciative enough to show them off on screen. If you don't realize in the drawings, that is literally me. I do have characters on the screen, and some of them, they're like little cat characters. The one that you see with the humongous pupil, that their name is Arson. And that's basically my main character, my main little character that I have that people sometimes draw for me to represent me. But if you were to draw me, my actual Sono is just myself in real life, and I think that's the funniest thing I could ever pull off. Yeah, I appreciate all of the birthday wishes, and I appreciate every single one of you being around me ever since my birthday, because on December 4th and December 5th, I did not celebrate my birthday then. We had to unfortunately go to a funeral to one of my family members that had passed away, and it was kind of a bad time, especially because obviously you can't control how scheduling works, and obviously I understand that, which I didn't mind because we had to go to the funeral stuff and the reception by the 4th and the 5th, and the fourth is when we went to the actual like funeral and stuff with the casket and all sorts of speeches and stuff, and it's very heartbreaking seeing everyone in tears. I even had to step outside for that, and it was kind of unfortunate, and it was so like heart-wrenching to hear some of my family members be brought into tears, and because I never seen them in that emotion before, I never seen them in this state before, but hopefully we'll all get through it, because obviously it's very unfortunate about what happened, and it is very tragic of what happened beforehand, before she even passed, because the person had a stroke, and it like completely messed her up. Like, she couldn't even talk, she couldn't even walk, she couldn't even like say anything, she couldn't even move, she couldn't even do anything, she couldn't even eat, and it was very traumatizing for me because I knew her throughout all my life, and it is very struggling. It is such a struggle to have to deal with something like that, especially at a young age, because obviously I can't really deal with that, and it sometimes can affect me in very harmful ways, and I'm very sad about it sometimes. Because for me, I have autism. I can barely talk about things without like stuttering, or just like having to sit here in silence while trying to figure out what I'm trying to say. But with some topics like this, I am very much like capable of saying what I want to say and all that sort of things. So the so the whole thing about the funeral and all that, that was my first funeral I ever went to. Beforehand, I went to a celebration of life with another one of my family members, and that family member for them got me into being into Sonic the Hedgehog and being into technology and being into what I'm doing currently. And I very much thank him for that. May he rest in peace, Nehemiah. And but this was my first funeral that I ever went to, and it's tough saying goodbye, especially to someone you've known for a really long time, and ever since you were born. You know, the struggle of loss is always gonna be around you this entire time and will stay with you for as long as you possibly can until maybe you go over it, like get over it, and then you can talk about it and stuff like that without like tearing up. Obviously you can cry, but like you can like obviously like talk about it now instead, because like you know how sometimes it's like, oh, you don't want to talk about it, but eventually time will pass and then you can talk about it, you know, so it's overcoming something, you know. And I'm very glad that I got to be around the people I'm around, like my family, during the whole reception and everything, because it's tough. It's tough seeing everyone in a sad state, and I wish everyone the very best and hopefully overcome everything, because obviously having loss is very much a terrible thing to go through, and I don't wish that on anybody, especially when those people were around you for like a really, really long time. I have said this constantly, but what else can I really say? And in the aftermath, I have been constantly visiting my family members that have been affected the most, being my nana and my papa. I call them, like, my nana is my grandma, my papa is my grandpa and stuff, and I've been constantly visiting them throughout the week, hopefully seeing if they're doing well or not, and they seem to be doing really good, and it seems like a lot of other of my family members have the same idea as me, because I've seen them constantly at the house, just like seeing how they've been, just hanging out, just doing whatever, talking and junk, all that sort of thing. And I'm very glad that people are keeping company, especially myself, because obviously I really don't want anyone to go through what they have been going through and all that sort of things. And yeah, it's tough. Sometimes things like that can really mess with your head, and I really don't wish anything on anyone, and like all that sort of things, like with loss and some sort of things, and it's kind of bad. And with certain topics like that, I really hate, like I'd always get talked about I always get brought up the topic of abandonment in some of like my friend groups and stuff, but they don't really know what that means. They put it in a way where like, oh, they're not in a call with us, these guys abandoning us. Obviously it can be a joke, but at one point in time it was not a joke, as in like they would say and be unironic, and it's kind of weird. It's like sometimes we're so separated. Oh, cool, squid. It's like sometimes we're so separated within like different servers or different friend groups. It's so weird. Like we can have multiple friend groups. It doesn't matter. But obviously trying to collide them both together to make one whole big friend group is just not going to work at all the way you think it is. And it's kind of a struggle. Like, dude, that just landed right where my camera was. That's insane. But no, they just don't know what that really means. It's like, if you're really facing abandonment or something like that, like through Discord of all places, like what the hell? It's like kind of like, what do you mean? I remember like a friend of mine. I'm still friends with them. It doesn't matter. They were talking about like I was talking about how I was finishing a game called Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name, and I was saying how we were in another server called Bluppies, and they're saying I'll be sad too if I was in Bluppies. And I know, like, from what history I recall, they don't really like that server, which kind of sucks, because it's basically the only way we can really be in contact with one of my other friends because they left the main server. Um, because now I own that server, and now I run it, and there's a whole bunch of things saying like, oh, is the server falling off? Yeah, probably because people are so negative all the time in there. It's like causing so much division within our friend group, and I don't really want that, like, at all. And when it's causing that division, that's when the abandonment talk comes in, and it's weird. It's like, yeah, I get you might be joking, but like at the same time, when you're bringing up that like other calls and stuff exist, it's like, and you're bringing up how we're abandoning you guys, it's kind of weird. It's like, come on, you can be around the friends you want to be around and stuff like that. But obviously, if we're truly abandoning you and stuff like that, we would have cut you off. We would have done so much other things. We would have done this. We would have done that. It's like, come on. It's kind of weird, like, talking about it, because it's like, have you been really abandoned? Like, I have been abandoned constantly. Not like how the like how usually the whatchamacallit, it was this, it's like, how do I explain it? It's it's like actually being ghosted and all that sort of thing. It's like completely like it's like you be around someone you met with for a really long time, like say a friend of yours for about 2 years, and then eventually out of nowhere they just cut you off, and then they like properly show that like they're like joining other things without you, and they're making sure of it. And for me, that's abandonment. Like, just completely ditching you for other people that you also call your friends, and just completely hiding that from you. And it's like, you're gonna be like, they're gonna like talk trash behind your back and all that sort of thing, because I've been through that. I have been through that constantly back then. I had mentioned this last episode with 2018 and all that sort of thing, and it's kind of terrible, you know. Also, thank you to that one guy that says W Yap Sesh Unk to the video, and I thought that was awesome, and I'm very grateful that you guys would really love watching my videos, just talking all this sort of things about my life and stuff. And I'm very thankful to have you guys. But no, it's like abandonment like that, like, or just ghosting in general, is very bad. And comparing that to what we've been doing, it's not like we've chose to do this. It's the fact how we don't want to be around negativity, you know. And it's about that. And it's just that comparing that to like actual like ghosting and all that sort of things, it's weird. And I hate that it's being compared to something like that, especially when I've gone through it. I need to get that. Hang on. And it kind of pains me. And it's like, even then, the same people who are saying that are in other calls as well, saying that we abandoned them, and while they're abandoning us. Like like one of them would like just make a noise and then just leave completely without even saying anything. Sometimes they would say, oh, I'm going to move calls, I'll be back later, and they don't go back. And 2 people do that. I'm not throwing shade, but at the same time, when you're obviously saying, oh, they're abandoning us, I obviously don't take that as a joke, considering them, they would do the same thing. But even then, you were open to join us. And you were open to join that server, Bluppies. But it's kind of weird when you say that we're abandoning you guys when we're in that server in specific. And obviously, I'm not trying to put words into your mouth saying you did this or you did that, but I'm just assuming, you know. And obviously, I don't want to stir up anything with you guys. I'm just trying to bring this up to voice my feelings on the matter. And it's kind of like horrendous that I even have to talk about it. Hang on, I had to message someone. So it's kind of like, whatchamacallit, it's like having that comparison, it kind of sucks. Because sometimes you say it so often that I'm starting to feel like you're saying it unironically. And I don't like that. It's like, if you say it so often, just get over it. I'm saying this now because, like, you can obviously join us in Bluppies, but it's like, what do you mean that I would be sad too if I was in Bluppies? What's so sad about it? It's the only way of being in contact with a friend of mine. And we usually just stay around there for long periods of time because we want to hang out with her. We want to hang out with the people, like, because we're friends. Obviously, we want to hang out with our friends. But it's whatever, I guess. And it kind of sucks. Stuff like that. I really don't understand that conversation. But it's whatever. We'll try to push through it. We'll try to solve it, hopefully. I hope to solve it with some people. And me voicing this, I hope to solve it with those as well. Because obviously, me and my friends also do that. Oh, you abandoned us. Obviously in a joking way. We don't care. We don't care. But actually saying it in some way and comparing it to actual abandonment is kind of absurd. It's so weird. But hey, what more can you do? And hopefully me voicing this and me talking about it can obviously shed some light to it. Because that's what I want to do. I want to shed some light onto problems within my friend group and to hopefully solve them whenever they watch it. And I have done that with all sorts of things. Like, I have been getting constant messages about them, all that sort of thing. And I'm very grateful that I could have these conversations with you guys and stuff. And thank you guys so much for watching me talk about these stupid things that I hopefully maybe not relate to you or maybe relate to you. I don't know, but hopefully it's something that I can inspire you to actually open up about these sort of things, open up about these problems, and to, like, sort out your friend group, you know. But yeah. And it leads me to having friend groups and stuff is kind of like bad when it has these, like, all these problems and such. Because obviously it's like, when you have these, like, problems and it causes a division, it's like, what can you do? You have to be here, you have to be there, and it's like so bad. I have explained this in the last one, but just comparing it to, like, now, it's kind of like it's another loop. It's like a cycle, you know, and it kind of sucks. And I want to break that cycle. For that sort of thing, it's kind of like, what can you do? And it's kind of strange having to deal with it all over again, but in, like, a sort of different way. Especially when you're a lot more open, it's very different, and it feels like you can do it more. The last time, like I said, about 2018, around 2022, I could not do that for the life of me because I was not myself back then. I was being treated differently than the others because I was very easily manipulated, and I was not myself. So, like I obviously said back then, I put myself after others in a way. Like, I usually, like, take care of myself after I deal with all that sort of thing, but first come my friends. And it was kind of a bad mindset I had, actually. Like, I just didn't know how much it would really affect me in all that sort of way, and it's kind of weird, and I hate that. But either way, I hope to break these cycles. That's all. And this reminds me, the whatchamacallit, I have been contacting some of my friends through DMs more recently when we haven't been talking to each other through DMs all that often, and I'm very grateful to have that. Excuse me. And the thing is that one of them, I believe, I had to, like, completely talk to because I was so worried about them. And I think I did type a message to them. They did give me back saying that they appreciate it and stuff. But it's like, man, I had to, like, type that to a friend that, like, I never really had a conversation like a deep conversation about that because I don't want to pry. I don't want to pry on any personal matters and all that sort of thing because obviously I'm not like that. If you're gonna bring up personal things, then go ahead. I'll try to, for like venting purposes, obviously. If you're gonna bring that up, then you can go ahead and you can do that with me, to try to like get some advice or just like get it off your chest, And hopefully I'll be that friend to actually like have conversations with, and and every other matter that you have. Hopefully I'm willing to actually put you first than myself, because obviously I'm doing fine, I'm doing great. So obviously I have the time to put yourself first than myself if I ever need it. And with that, I had to like write a whole essay thing about talking to my friend and junk, saying like, because I remember like their status being changed constantly, and I was really worried because I have not seen anyone do that sort of thing. Well, I have, and I have talked to them about it, and they felt completely fine after talking to me, and they thanked me for that. But this one was different because this was a friend that like I have never seen them do that. They were not so open about that in their whole status thing, because I don't know if you guys would have those sorts of friends that like put their status as like actual things like DNI or like I had a bad day or something like that. I do that sometimes to let people know I'm in like some sort of mood that day. But it's from a friend that like I've never really seen that happen before. That was like my first time doing that, and I was just really worried. So I had to like DM them about it, and like I had to like type so much, but at the same time I was like really scared because obviously I can't really talk to people first. I have to like either be in calls in order for me to actually like DM people first, because it's like obviously I still have that social anxiety, but like obviously having these kinds of conversations will obviously help me build up everything that I have already encountered, like all that skill. All of these interactions will definitely help me in the future, and I'm very grateful that I am doing all that sort of thing, because I want to talk to people more. I want to DM people more. I want to like actually talk to people in DMs more. Like some people have talked to me about all these sorts of problems, like sorts of problems that they're going through and all that sort of thing, and hopefully I'm there to actually talk to them and get it off their chest. And it is very much working, and I'm very happy that I get to have that chance of talking to you guys and actually like solving your problems, or like keeping company with you guys to actually do whatever, because obviously it doesn't just happen to the person I'm talking about or like who I'm trying to mention, but it happens to other people as well. Like a couple more of my friends had that, and I was there to actually, excuse me for my voice crack, Jesus Christ. It very much happens to other people, like all my other friends as well, who actually do that sort of thing. And I make sure I'm there to take care of them and to hopefully be there if no one's there to talk to them about it. Because obviously I don't know what goes on in their life, and they don't know what's going on with mine, which is why I have this series to talk about what I have gone through and other things as well. And hopefully to bring like relations to you guys, and not just like my friends in general, because I'm not making this for my friends. I'm making this for myself, to give people hopefully inspirations of other things, and to talk about things that hopefully relate to you guys, and all that sort of thing. And to like solve these problems with other people, I hope to actually do someday in the future. I want to be there for people. I want to do all sorts of things with people, because obviously I have so many friends actually, and hopefully all of that I can be around, because obviously I don't really have friends in real life as I do in online, and that's just sort of the preference I prefer. I would love to definitely meet up with my online friends one day, which I really make sure I want to do so. But I really want to make sure that like I have some sort of balance between online and real life, because I want to do activities in real life as well while I'm doing activities, no, alongside doing activities online as well. Because I love to text my friends. I love to do all the sort of things. I love to be in calls with my friends and all that sort of thing. I love playing together with my friends. I love doing all of that. And yeah, it is very fun to be around people, because obviously you hate being by yourself. You need someone to interact with from time to time. Even if you want to be alone, you just want to be next to someone and to hopefully talk about what you're going through and to hopefully be around positive people and all that sort of thing. I was like that before. I used to be all alone and stuff, and I didn't realize that I actually needed someone before I met everyone. All of these friend groups and stuff, all these friends that I ended up meeting, some idols that I have actually met and became friends with. It is very surreal. It's like so insane of how far that you can really go as a person and actually have some interactions with others because you want to be who you want to be. I got to where I am because of myself. I got to be I got to be a composer. I got to be like a video editor. I got to be like so much other things because I am myself and I have these sorts of hobbies that I really want to do in my spare time. And I'm very grateful for everything that I have gone through. And to have more people around me that have the same interests as me is very mind-boggling. And I'm very thankful to be around people. And all that sort of thing, I always let it get to me because it's like I never had that chance back then. And to have another chance now is very, very surprising. I think about it time to time, but I don't really let it get to me because I'm obviously trying to be all positive and all that sort of junk. Because obviously I really don't want to put people down and all that sort of thing. I want to make sure I'm there for people. I want to make sure I interact with people when I don't really interact with them as often. I want to make sure I'm very helpful to those. And I want to make sure they have a shed of light through the darkness, I have mentioned this before, but yes, I really want to remind them constantly that I am there for them. I am there for all of you guys. I am there if you need someone to talk to. I am there when you need someone. I am there if you're ever feeling something, you can come talk to me, and I'll try my best to respond to you as soon as I can. Even if I'm busy, I'll try to be there for you. I will make sure I'll cut the time just to talk to you guys. And that's what I want. Because I want to make sure we have no issues in our friend group, no issues with anything at all. I want to make sure everything is solved. I want to make sure everything is in the right direction and to hopefully do everything in my power to actually solve everything within our group and every other issue that we have together so we can live peacefully, But yeah, no, that's all I want. I want to live in peace. I want to live normally and all that sort of thing. And yeah, that's literally all I want to do in life. And yeah, I want to live a life where I actually have no regrets, but you can't really do that when you already have a ton of regrets from your past or all that sort of thing. Because obviously I have more recent regrets and it kind of sucks. However, I've already gone through a ton of regrets, and I obviously got over them, and I'm very glad I did, because I wouldn't be here. And sometimes those regrets are very childish of mine, and I was like, oh, what if this happened, or what if I do this? It would be really funny. And then after I do it, I realize, oh man, I kind of screwed up. I don't really want that. But it is very much in terms of regretness and all that sort of junk. I think that can help you build as a person, because having regrets will make you mature and you'll hopefully not make the same mistakes as other people or yourself with those regrets. Obviously there can be embarrassing moments that you can push through, and sometimes you can think about it and you're like, oh. But obviously you can build yourself as a person with those events and all that sort of thing, to make sure you don't make the same mistake as you used to back then, and it's hopefully enough to actually help you grow as a person. But yeah, that is like all I want to really like do. I want to like build myself as a person. I want to be around those. I really want to be around friends. I really want to be around family. I want to be there. Even if I struggle with conversations, I want to make sure that I actually have a voice and you can hear me and what I feel like whenever I talk to you guys. I want to make sure I'm out there. I want to make sure I'm here talking with you guys and all that sort of junk. And everything that I've already gone through, I make sure I use those as fuel to make me prepare for what's to come if I ever have these types of conversation with friends, you know? And yeah, that is pretty much it. It's a little bit of a shorter episode today, but I had no idea what to talk about today. So it's kind of like I had to talk about my dealings with loss and all that sort of things. But yeah, it's pretty much what I want to talk about. I use this as a way to express feelings and to get it off my chest, you know, without being too overly specific and without like, you know, name dropping and all that sort of thing, because I don't want to stir up anything. I just want my, I just want my feelings to be heard, and I just want everything to be fine and dandy by the time I release this video, because obviously I want to make sure that all of you are okay, all of you are well, and all that sort of thing. And yeah, that is basically all I want to talk about to hopefully get my feelings across. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.